and at the same time, just a little nerve-wracking. We all have a lot to share with you, so I want to get started pretty quickly. The speakers are going to begin by introducing themselves, and after they do that, we're going to circle back and everyone is going to tell you about why they chose financial social work, how they use it with their clients. Then I will be doing a brief presentation, and it includes a special announcement and a discount and a giveaway. So I hope you'll stay with us through that, because then we're going to bring the panel back for questions and answers. If during the presentation you want to put in a question, feel free to do that in the question box. If it is for someone specific and you want to know something about what they've talked about, go ahead and put their name. Hello, Carolyn, yay, we're all here, guys. Go ahead and put their name in front of the question if you think of it, if you can. So with that, now that we've talked at great length, the whole panel, about who goes first, and I don't remember, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Claire.
All right, thank you, Rita. Very, very happy to be here. Hello, everyone. My name is Claire Dubé. I am a financial therapist, a daily money manager, and I have added financial social work counselor to my resume there. I currently work and live in Connecticut and South Carolina, split my time. And I am a huge Bruins fan and a fan of talking all things money. So I'm looking forward to chatting throughout the day. And I am going to pass on the introduction to my colleague, Shay.
Hello, my name is Shay McMillan, and I am a licensed master social worker practicing out of South Carolina, although I do live in Georgia, but it's just across the bridge. I mainly work with children and families. We have a therapeutic child care center for children ranging from ages 2 to 5. So really children who have, social and emotional delays and even developmental, other developmental delays. We work with them and with the families to get them caught up essentially, so that when they go to public school or wherever they go after they leave us, they are, better equipped. So I found financial social work a couple of years ago, and I became certified in September of 2019. And I just was intrigued by the idea of marrying my love and passion for finances with social work. I'm going to pass it off to Matthew.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Shay. So my name is Matt Schwartz. I am a licensed master social worker in Buffalo, New York. Go Bills. First time you might actually take the Super Bowl. One of the nice things is I'm both a clinician at a community behavioral health center, and I'm also a doctor of social work student at the University of Buffalo. And the reason that really brought me to financial social work was I have an MBA and I love working in business and finance, but it didn't fulfill my need or my want to help people. I was really helping companies more. And then with my MSW, I really loved helping people, but I wasn't getting to do what I loved with money. And all of a sudden I found out about this wonderful thing called financial social work, and I got the certification and I brought it to my agency. And right now, as far as I know, we might be the only, or certainly the first agency to be offering financial social work as something that we're billing insurance for. And so we're providing financial social work services. I'm providing financial social work services to the poorest community in Buffalo. And I'm also working as the doctoral end to prove financial social work. We know it works, but we want all of the evidence-based research possible, so we can show that to the clearinghouses, and hopefully so within a few years across the US, everyone will be able to bill for financial social work who's qualified. And that's really one of my larger goals. So I'm happy to be here today. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to LB.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Matt. So my name is LB Brown. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and a certified social worker, financial social worker in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So we're all tied since y'all mentioned the things. I am currently assistant director in our Office of Case Management in an ambulatory setting. And I'm also spend some of my time as a adjunct instructor and field liaison at our University of Alabama School of Social Work. So I have a great balance of working with current bachelor's and master's social work students, and then also working with our patient panel in the medical setting, providing case management and supervision to our patient panel. So that's what I do on a regular basis. I'm gonna pass it to Keith to introduce himself.
Thank you, LB. My name is Keith Davis. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, greater Cleveland area. Go Browns.
Okay.
Just to know that was coming next, right? But I'm a certified HUD counselor as well as financial counselor, and also a certified financial social worker. And the organization that I will currently work for right now at this current time is a 501c nonprofit organization in which we help individuals as well as families and assess their financial stability as well as their financial capability. One of the things that really, I would say, attracted me directly to this certification was just trying to have the ability to deal with a community that's oftentimes marginalized or, oftentimes faces different types of issues and barriers. And I feel that with, the ability to kind of learn some of the new methodologies in certification, it has prepared me to speak with even a broader voice within the community. So with that said, I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Carolyn Phillips.
Carolyn, you're muted. Oh, good. Can you help her? Oh, no.
Did she leave?
No, she probably closed out something.
She was joining through LB. I hope she will join from her phone as she was before. Let's go wait for her.
Okay, why don't we wait for her to come back and go ahead with Keith?
Okay, so going back to me, of course, and just speaking a little bit in terms of just the overall certification as well. One of the things that I saw directly within a community as something that we oftentimes have to address is the individuals who sometimes feel hopeless. And the certification was a great opportunity for us as individuals to really change that and make them hopeful directly with the certification, especially within the community who oftentimes deal with some of the generational values that they learn. For us, one of the biggest things that we've been learning is how to make friends with money. That's another way or another avenue or method that we've learned truly in helping individuals empower themselves and demystifying some of the different things that they've learned on an ongoing basis. So that's one of the many things that we've learned directly through the certification. And again, there are many tips as well as advice that you'll learn, especially from the individuals, as well as from Rita herself, who provides abundance of content on a day-to-day basis for us to learn. So with that said, I'm going to pass it over to LB.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are all great things, Keith. I got introduced to financial social work last March when I was researching things to educate myself with how to help our patients with the impact of the pandemic. So in doing that, I came across the webinar that Rita hosted back in March for the impacts of the financial impact of COVID-19 to individuals and families. And it was, as soon as I attended this webinar, I was instantly hooked with the environment, with the information. It just really hit me with these are the situations that are going to happen. And so I looked more into financial social work and discovered it was a a big thing. And so I invested in the certification, and what I got back was just out of it is just amazing. I mean, just the compassionate work, the environment, the support system involved with being within this certification. It's just the curriculum just really aligns with my perspective. And when you're talking about financials, I mean, that impacts everyone's life. So really, it's a lot of great information involved. And so with using the financial social work certification personally, I have actually learned the definition of all these financial terms and able to understand and connect it with my environment and with my lifestyle. And I learned how to have a relationship with my money, and as Rita says, making friends with my money. So I spend my time, I plan and organize certain time out of my week to make friends with my money. And then as in using financial social work professionally, I can use it in twofold. So one, I can use it with my caseload, with my patient panel, with my patients, and which when we get referrals, I mean, financial difficulties is a huge part of needing, a case manager and things like that. So I can definitely use it with our patients, but also I can use it with our students. So with our social work students at a bachelor's and master's level, so they can either use it personally for themselves. I mean, think about student debt. That's just the first thing that comes to my mind, and to really understand how to invest and make friends with their money, but also the students can learn how to use it for their caseload. And so I'm really excited to start on that journey. I just became certified last October. So I'm still just working it into my day-to-day basis. So I'm excited to really get this up and going. And it's very, it's just so versatile, and you can use it in any way, in every way. So I'm just excited to be a part of this. And yeah, so with that, I'm going to pass it on back to Matt.
Thanks. Yeah, so I was drawn into financial social work. I was thinking about last summer, right, about June, when another colleague of mine at my university was posting about it in our close Facebook group. And I said, wow, I didn't know this was a thing I could do. And it had been frustration for a while at my agency. I love my agency, but we have on our treatment plans, financial clinician will, provide a basic budgeting skills or financial literacy skills. And I was like, why don't we know how to do this? Because I have an MBA and I ran a finance, like bookkeeping, accounting, human resources office. I worked as a financial freelancer in New York. And I was like, but how many of my colleagues really know how to do any of this? And based on a lot of my conversations with my colleagues, they were like, we have no idea. We just put it on there, and we really hope that at some point we talk about, balancing your checkbook, right? And I wouldn't say that all of them even know how to do that, right? You talk about math with financial social, although not with financial social workers, with regular social workers, right? And everyone goes, oh my God, numbers, right? I don't do numbers. I went to social work because I don't do numbers. But we have to do numbers, right? Because that's, dollars and cents really make up our life. And so I took the program, and it revolutionized really how I relate to my own money, right? Because I always related to it from just a business aspect, not from a biopsychosocial aspect. And it made me feel much more comfortable, reduced my anxiety, my stress, my, depression around my finances. And with my patients, what I found is, patients come in, right? And I'm an integrationist, so I work on with the mental health and the substance use side and with both. So my patients, if they're coming out of immediate detox and rehab, oftentimes they'll substitute one addiction for another. So we've gone from cocaine to Amazon, right? And all of those boxes are coming up at the door. How do we work through that? And on the mental health side, what's your financial safety plan when you're in a manic episode? And how can we work on that? How do we stabilize your finances right now? And to be able to have a process that's based in the trans-theoretical model, I'm a solution-focused counselor. Well, now I'm a solution-focused financial social worker. And it's been wonderful to take this program and expand it to an entire community who's had predatory lending practices, who's had payday loan scams, there's been so much research on the banking apartheid in Buffalo, and to be able to provide this service has been incredible. And the only reason that we were able to really do that was the certification of the CFSW credential. And just having the handout and material has been wonderful. And now in my doctoral program, getting to really look at, financial social work, transgenerational financial trauma, and to take this program and really expand it to other social workers and academics. So it's been just an incredible journey, and it's just getting started, which is great. So I'm going to pass it back to Shay now.
Hello. Personally, I feel like I have loved working through the workbooks, and I feel like anybody could benefit from it, whether you are a professional or just, whether a social work professional or anyone else. By night, I am a personal finance coach, so I feel like that is where I'm able to implement some of the curriculum most, because I'm able to work one-on-one in like a virtual capacity with individuals to help them to make friends with their money, to identify triggers for spending. Obviously, a lot of times when people aren't managing their finances, there's a lot more that goes into that. And just kind of working through all of that, processing all of that, goal setting, being accountable. I think that's important, to be accountable to someone in some type of capacity, and also creating, debt payoff plans, spending and saving plans, all of that good stuff. At my full-time job, I am able to work one-on-one with families and adults. Of course, the bulk of the sessions are about the child and how we can improve their behaviors and all of that stuff. But just like, I feel like as social workers, we always talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So if a family is struggling financially or whatever the case is, the likelihood of them, implementing proper, effective parenting strategies, for some of them, is pretty low on their priority list. So just working through all of that, identifying barriers, not only, just with finances, but in other ways, of course, too. But I feel like definitely as social workers, to be able to make friends with our own money and be able to help others do that, especially in session, if that topic does come up, makes us unstoppable. So those are my thoughts. I'm going to pass it back to Claire.
Thank you, Shay. So as I had mentioned before, I kind of had 3 pillars where I have financial therapy, daily money management, and have added financial social work, more specifically a financial social work counselor. I have a family foundation that I'm a trustee on, and I have the opportunity of working with different organizations, nonprofits, specifically social enterprise, and that focus on working with youth that are in the foster system, they are court involved, or maybe homeless. And I found the financial social work aspect really great for working with these programs and producing financial literacy programs for this youth. So my focus is different, as the other panelists have spoken with. As social workers, I'm a social work counselor, so it's a little bit different with the certification, or at least the way that I use the certification. And when I did get certified, one of the things that I felt was really important in this is that it's been accredited through the National Association of Social Workers. And to me, it kind of gave it another boost of knowing that this has been vetted and approved by a national organization, and see such great value in the work that Rita's created. And I really feel very lucky to be a steward of her work, and to pick up some of where she has done and run with this in another form. Like, each of us have done it a little bit differently, with whether it's working through housing with Keith, and Matt with research. So it gives you an indication that you can use this certification and the information you learn from the program, and you can integrate it into so many different ways of work that you may be doing, or for hobbies or your passions that not necessarily you're getting a paycheck for. But like I said, doing the pro bono work, and it feels great to be able to set up this program in another atmosphere with youth. I'm not sure if Carolyn is back on, that I can send it to Carolyn, and if not, Rita, I'm going to send it to you to your presentation.
Olga, are you having any luck with Carolyn?
She's here, but her video and
Carolyn, do you want to just do it from your phone?
Can you hear me?
oh,
No.
there she is.
Almost.
Okay. I'm not sure what's happening.
Carolyn? Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
she joined and okay. I think she got the link in email and she tried to join.
Okay. I'll go ahead and go to my presentation, and we're going to take all the cameras down. And when we come back, if Caroline is back with us, she does wonderful things. I'd love everybody to hear about it. And let's see if I can go ahead and do what I'm saying I'm going to do, which is take down my web camera and figure out how to put out my presentation. Okay.
Can you hear me, Rita?
Oh, sure. Go ahead, Carolyn.
This has been a day.
Ah,
I'm Carolyn Phillips from Detroit, Michigan, and happy Thursday to everybody. I'm excited to be here, and for some reason I've been having technical difficulties. But again, I'm Carolyn Phillips, and I'm the president and training coordinator of Independent Networking Associates. And I became certified last year in July, and I've been real excited about being a part of this wonderful organization. I got involved because of two other social workers, and one of my friends was coming to Rita's webinars, and she told me about it. And so I got really excited about it, and I said, well, let me take a look at this. And it's history. I got involved, and I was doing another program, and it's called D-Free, and it's about financial freedom. So I decided that I would take my social work skills and work with the clients and families that I have. As again, I said, my company is Independent Networking, and we run intergenerational financial literacy groups. And our group is called the VIP Millionaires. And one of the things I think that's so great about being a part of this program is that it's transformational. And my journey has been a long one as far as finances. I've been involved with finances from childhood up until the present moment. But this program has helped me and our group in terms of looking at where we are. And our intergenerational group is from 30 to 83. And the people that are older says it's never too late to begin again. And so we're excited about that because with our wisdom in the group, we can share some of the experiences, some of the challenges that we've had in our financial journey. But this has been an eye-opener for me. It's been discovery, and to be able to get the word out in our community. I am a community advocate, so every time I get good information and I know it's sound information, I'm sharing it with everybody. I believe that when you've been blessed, you just have to pass it on. And so Rita, meeting you has been one of the blessings, and to be able to be a part of the financial network, it's been amazing. So as you can see, one of my biggest challenges right now is technology, but I'm gonna hang in there. I'm gonna do what I can. I would encourage everybody to get involved with the certification program. You can use it for yourself. You can use it with your family. You can use it with your friends. And with the world being the way that it is, we need to help others, and others need to stick together and build a healthy community. I'm going to turn it back over to you, Rita. I'm so glad I could at least get in on this beautiful Thursday. Thank you again.
Thanks, Carolyn. I'm so glad you were able to also. And in case those of you in the audience don't know, it's a little overwhelming to hear all of this, for I'm really the one who's the most blessed. This specific group is a group of financial social work advocates. I'll mention them a little bit more later in this quick presentation. They're amazing people, but all of our students and graduates, I am blessed. So I just want to talk a little bit about financial behavioral health for you and your clients, especially because that was the name of the presentation. Some of our most commonly asked questions. The slides aren't shared. Of course, we're not going to have that many slides. The recording will be up on the website. We do a free monthly webinar every month, and those recordings are all on the website. If you have questions for the panel, go ahead and put them in the, is there a problem, Olga?
Rita, we can see your slides. Can you please share your presentation?
Okay, so let me figure out how I do that. I'm glad you told me.
Under sharing.
Sharing and show. Okay.
Now we got it. Cool.
Okay. All right. So we'll try again. Sorry about that. Okay. So all the recordings are always up on our website within a day or so. If you have a question to ask, preface it with the name of the person you'd like to ask that question to, and lots of questions about are there CEs or certificates of attendance, and we are not able to provide those right now. I'd like to start with something that I call the financial social work affirmation. I think it captures what my work is all about. Just for today, I will love myself enough to face my fears, practice self-acceptance, and embrace hope. Just for today, I will silence my inner critic, speak my truth, and make peace with my past. I will give myself permission to eliminate toxic people, beliefs, and behaviors from my life. And just for today, I will prepare for a better tomorrow by making friends with my money and myself today. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview of the history of financial social work, because I do want to make sure to save time for the Q&A. So once upon a time in 1997, I felt that I would like to know more about personal finance and money management. At the time, I was working exclusively with women, and I turned the phrase feminomics. And if we were in the same room, I would ask you what you thought that term means. But since we're not, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I gave it the definition of the gender of money. And while I probably never looked quite as good as the picture of this woman, I liked how she looked. So the gender of money, it's about the feminization of poverty, because poverty does indeed have a woman's face. So what else does it mean? I'm not going to go into details on the 7 feminomics components that make up the gender of money, but it is about the fact that women earn less, they're often charged more, they have many other responsibilities, and they live longer. And the majority of the elderly living in poverty are women. And if you're not familiar with it, Equal Pay Day is the day each year that a woman must work to earn the same amount of money that a man, a white man, working in the same field earned by December 31st. And for each of these, that date is different. And you can see that for Latina women, it goes all the way into October 29th. So when I started out, lots of people said to me, now mind you, this was over 2 decades ago, we don't talk to clients about money. No. Now, I didn't understand that because even though the 12 grand challenges of social work didn't exist all the way back then, I did know that every area of the work we were trained to do and wanted to advocate for did have a financial component. I was also told at that time that there was no such thing as financial social work. Well, I couldn't dispute that because until I created that phrase, there was no such thing as financial social work. But I guess it's a good thing that I was so naive. I probably looked a lot more like this woman than the other one because it hasn't really been an easy journey. But not to dwell on that, and how could I possibly when all these wonderful people are saying all these wonderful things about financial social work. And over the years, so many special moments and opportunities and experiences have really come my way. But most of all, we came into 2020, none of us prepared for what was about to happen. And I certainly didn't realize how COVID would change the way and the need for financial social work or the Black Lives Matter movement. So how did it change it? Well, this is a listing of the recordings of just some of our recent webinars on our website. And in April, we had a webinar scheduled, and I realized that things were really changing because of COVID, and we put together coping with the financial reality of COVID-19. Usually on our monthly webinars, we average around 500 to 800 registrants. For that one, we had 12,000 people register. The technology was not too happy about that, but we did indeed have that many people realizing that there would be growing financial problems. And then with Black Lives Matter, we created a webinar on financial social work, foundational to economic and social justice, and we had 6,000 some people registered for that one. And we have lots and lots of people registered for today too. So financial social work is a valuable resource for economic and social injustice. And we all need to learn the fact that it's time to stop depending on tomorrow's dollars to pay for today's debt. And I'll mention the elephant in the room in one of my later slides. So we have financial graduates. We have thousands of them across the United States and around the world. We have graduates in Hong Kong, Taiwan, Canada, Finland, Iceland, Australia, Israel, and I'm blocking the others, but it's because it is a behavioral model. And until and unless behavior changes, nothing changes. So it's really not a direct effect of whether it's yen or Krugers or dollars or cents. So the why of financial social work. Because money can be very traumatic. 16% of suicides in the United States occur in response to a financial problem. People who died by suicide are 8 times more likely to have debt, and men and women who experience trauma are 15 times more likely to commit suicide. That diminishes financial health in so many different ways. It does it emotionally, physically, mentally, psychologically, and socially. So just a few things about financial social work before we move on to Q&A. So we do have this financial behavioral health model that lays out the steps in sustainable long-term financial behavioral change. And the work explores the fundamentals of financial well-being, the thoughts, feelings, attitudes, beliefs, experiences, and values. If you stop and think about it, that is absolutely what drives financial behavior: how we earn, spend, save, share, and borrow. And with each of those categories, there are so many ways that clients need the work that we do and offer. So it is about, as some of the speakers talked about, changing our relationship with our money, recognizing, embracing, and taking ownership of personal financial health. Now, we do that, as everyone mentioned, for ourselves during this process, and we are then better and healthier role models for our clients. It is about changing relationship with ourselves. It's about self-discovery, self-care, and self-healing. It's about changing our thinking, those thoughts, feelings, attitudes, and beliefs, and our behavior, how we earn, spend, save, share, and borrow. It's an interactive, reflective, strengths-based model that's client-centered, empowering, and looks to achieve sustainable change. And to go beyond dollars, cents, debt, math, budgets, and crisis intervention. So the elephant in the room that I mentioned earlier, we need to go beyond crisis intervention. We do work with clients and help them through crisis. We do referrals, we provide resources, but to truly make a difference, we have to help clients to create change, to be more proactive in their financial behavior. And so it is with incredible excitement that I now introduce to you our very new, and this took many years and many hours of putting together, our new financial social work certification. And there are 5 workbooks. I think they're very beautiful. I hope you will too. You can see I just pulled out a few of the pages so you could see just how lovely they look. And I'm just going to tell you a few things about them. They are more reflective. The financial social work model is about financial engagement. If we can't engage a client, we have no hope of creating any change. So it's engagement, education, motivation, validation, and support. And reflection is a major component. It's how we learn about ourselves and how we help clients learn more about themselves and their lives. And so in the new workbooks, you can work directly in the PDF, which I'm so excited about. So you can see what that looks like here. And our graduates can use the original materials, all of them, one-on-one with their clients. And we've never required recertification because we know that in the helping fields, the cost is an issue. But since we have graduates from maybe close to 20 years ago who want to update their certification and be more current, later this year we will be offering an optional recertification. We have much more original content, more updated information, beautiful indexes that take you right to what you're looking for. And all of you who may already be students or graduates, all you need to do is log into your account on our website after the workshop, and you'll have access to all the new materials. So that's exciting. And of course, it includes 20 CEUs from the National Association of Social Workers. This is something I'm excited about. And these are just a few of the pages that are uniquely designed so that you can reproduce them for use with your client. Those pages have the red strip across the bottom. So it's easy to reproduce them as many times as you need or want to. There's a lot more motivation, quotes across the certification, along with poems. And I think it was Keith talked about hope. We know that hopelessness closes the door to change, and it's hope that opens it. And that's what the certification brings with it. And community, community, community is so important to me. I love our financial social work community. We do have a monthly Zoom meeting, the third Thursday of every month. All of our students and graduates are invited. Mind you, they don't all show up. Some are working, others are sleeping in other parts of the world, but we do meet. We have been breaking into small groups to learn about each other and about the work we do and the clients we work with. And that's one of the ways that this particular webinar came to be. We also have a private financial social work Facebook group, and the group that has presented today is a group of financial social work advocates. They stepped forward because they believe in financial social work and they want to spread the word in a lot of creative ways, so you can anticipate more blogs and social media and lots of other things, podcasts coming your way. And these are pictures and bios of everyone. I just wanted to point out that Jenny Timen and Paul Wierzbicki are also two of the missing advocates that I wanted you to know about. So next month, our free monthly webinar is Financial Date Nights, Keeping Couples Connected. And we hope that we'll see you there. That's kind of celebrating a little bit of Valentine's Day. So here is our final, or next to final slide. We did promise a giveaway. And to do that, we use a program that will only include those in attendance today. And to do that randomly, it is done offline after the webinar. We will call the person or email the person who is the winner. And we will also announce it on our Financial Social Work Facebook page. So the cost of the certification, which is self-study and self-paced, and our students have 6 months to complete, and there is a final exam. It is $695. There is a payment plan, but for this launch, we are offering a $200 discount, and that coupon code is CFSW 400, well, 495, and it's good until February 1st at 11:59. So I invite you at this truly watershed moment to rethink, revise, review, and expand your work to address financial behavioral health, to invite a psychosocial financial behavioral wellness approach into your own life, your classes, workplaces, practices, client work, casework, to connect clients to their thoughts, feelings, attitudes, beliefs, and experiences with money, and to encourage better financial behavior that empowers healthier relationships with money and self. So as we go to do Q&A, I want you to know there is a handout. Okay, there is a handout that you can pull out of the box in your upper right-hand corner. So be sure to take that, and I will try to, let's have, if we can we have everybody put your cameras back on and we can take some Q&A. Olga, do we have questions?
Yes, we have questions. I chose some questions and also the speaker for this question. The first question will be to LB. Will I be able to successfully complete the certification in addition to my full-time job and family? Is it doable?
Absolutely. I mean, it kind of goes along with the concept of planning time with your money, right? So to make friends with your money. So if you plan accordingly, you know, you can start out, I would say start small goals. So, you know, and it will be whatever your family structure is or whoever lives in the home with you, you know, it will be a decision with everybody on when to manage the time for reviewing the curriculum and then, you know, applying and working and answering these questions. But yeah, it's absolutely, I have a full-time job, part-time job, sort of, and then a family. So I got it done. I mean, got it done right at the nick of time of that 6 months. But just it really is about planning, which goes right into, okay, this is how I'm going to plan to make friends with my money right now when I get certified. How can I take this 1 hour or 30 minutes or, you know, half a day, a month, whatever it is, transfer it over to, you know, using that certification. So absolutely, in my opinion, it's doable.
Thank you, LB. Next question to Rita. Is this program available to licensed marriage and family therapists? Maybe just very small question.
To licensed nurses?
LMFT, licensed marriage and family therapists.
Oh, okay. The certification is open to social workers and non-social workers. We have as many non-social workers as social workers. The classifications are a little different. It is the same materials. That information is on the website. And if you'd like, you can all email me. In the handout, you should see some great tips from all of our speakers and my contact information and some information on financial social work. So everybody's welcome. Shay, could you for a moment just mention what you're doing with Instagram?
Regarding just posting and all of that?
Well, the giveaway.
We're in the giveaway. Okay. So we will be posting or announcing, well, it's already been announced obviously today regarding the giveaway, but we will be posting over there. My hope is to do it tomorrow, and there'll be a link that you can follow via Gleam, and then you'll enter the giveaway. We ask that you are following Financial Social Work on Instagram, and you like the Facebook page, which is Financial Social Work as well. But all of that will be, you'll be prompted to do all of that whenever you're entering the giveaway, and then we will announce the winner at a later date. Haven't decided on that date exactly, but I was thinking to let the giveaway run through the month of January.
Right. Thanks. Olga, questions?
Next question to anyone. I'm currently working on a career change and I'm passionate about financial literacy and financial empowerment, particularly for women. Do I need to have background? Is it mandatory? Maybe to Claire.
Who's that question for?
Claire?
Oh, okay. Can you repeat that?
I'm currently working on change career and I don't have any backgrounds. Is it mandatory for certification to have any backgrounds to work?
Okay, we all have backgrounds in something. So it doesn't necessarily mean, sorry, Rita, did you need something?
No, I think everybody should mute themselves because there's some background noise.
Okay. So we all have backgrounds of some sort. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're all coming from a financial background. And I would say that the certification one is very beneficial to each of us as individuals for our own financial work. And it's even an extra bonus to be able to use it outside of ourselves, whether it's through communities, through becoming a social worker. As I said before, I am not a social worker. I'm a financial social work counselor, and my degrees are in finance and social sciences. So there's many different ways that you can use this certification in addition to using it for yourself. So I don't think that you need to have any specific background to take the certification.
Thank you, Claire. Next question to Matthew. I'm currently a MSW student. Do you recommend waiting to begin the FSW curriculum until after completion of graduate school? Are there practicum available?
I missed that last part of the sentence. Are there what available?
Are there practicums available? Practicums?
Practically available. Oh, right. So what I would say is it really depends on who you are as a student. I absolutely believe that there's a benefit to getting the credential while you're in graduate school. One, it lets you graduate with a credential and market yourself a little bit more once you graduate. Two, my guess is that you probably be finding yourself making a commitment to specialize in it. And that can give you not only a really leg up, but a totally different trajectory. It might also, depending on where you are in your MSW process, really guide where you'd like to do your field placements and your internships, right? Are you going to look at policy and financial policy through a representative or a senator's office? Are you going to work with, a homeless or housing unit, right? There's all different ways of taking the training, whether while you're in training for financial social work or after you've completed it, and making it really applicable to what you're studying, what you're writing about, what you're researching. And I think that it can only bolster your master's.
Thank you, Matthew. Next question to Keith. I'm LSW, who also does business coaching. Would information be appropriate to incorporate into coaching?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question? I kind of heard the tail end of that.
Would this information be appropriate to incorporate into coaching?
Oh, absolutely. This would definitely be appropriate because the financial social work actually encompasses the coaching methodologies behind it. It's for those who actively coach, it's similar to what we would call in the financial world financial capabilities, where it's helping clients to understand their behavior around money. So it's a great way to really establish and reaffirm some things that they're facing, as well as other ways of guiding them to a point for them to reach their financial milestones.
Thank you, Kit. Next question doesn't have any speaker pointed. So what is the difference between a financial social work certification and a credit counselor certification? Who would like to answer?
I can answer that.
Go ahead, Keith.
So the biggest difference between a credit counseling certification is that they're actually certified to actually talk about credit. Specifically with the financial social work is dealing directly with the financial coaching aspect, the shifting of behavior. So for instance, with financial behavior, you're looking at addressing the main barriers that's affecting them from actually reaching their goals. With credit counseling, you're actually prepared to talk to them directly about the things that are on their credit and actually provide them with actual counseling and guidance of how to actually be able to build and fix their credit.
Also, credit counseling. I'm just going to point out that we've done a lot of webinars over a lot of years. I think in January of 2020 or 2019, we had a credit counselor do a webinar for us, and he explained that whole process. They work with the banks. They take a completely different approach in certification. I see someone asked about domestic violence, and that is such a critical piece of why women stay in these circumstances. We had a great presentation last year on domestic violence. That recording is on the website, and she's actually a graduate, and she did a fabulous job on that. So there's lots of great resources that I didn't talk about, ebooks and all those recordings. So I just wanted to point that out.
Okay.
Anything else?
To LB, is this certification used mostly professionally or personally?
So I think it just depends on the person. For me, I plan to use this more professionally. But I think that, you know, if you have the means to invest in this, to start out using it personally, I think it's just going to be a decision that you as an individual would have to make. But it definitely, either way, I think it opens doors professionally or personally or both. So I don't think you can go wrong either way.
You know, I'd like to add to that. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Yes.
I use it both ways, personally and professionally. And it really, you can discover more about yourself, and all of the slides that Rita shared, it's been phenomenal. And you have to, if you're going to be a financial social worker to use this, you need to do it for yourself first, and then you can help others. So I've done it, and I'm using it with my study group. They are really enjoying it. We already had begun the journey, but it's more in depth, and it answers so many questions for you. And remember, you can start at any age. It doesn't matter what age, just get started. And the best thing you could do for yourself is give yourself a gift. You know, Rita said that she wants us to do this before February 1st. Give yourself a Valentine's gift. You know, if you do this for yourself, it's going to be life-changing. It is for me.
Yeah, and I'll add to that too. If we expect our clients or patients or whoever to do this work and invest in this work, I think it's up to us first to go through it, like Carolyn said, to put everything into it so you can understand what your clients or patients have to go through and answer. And that way, of course, you know, you want to identify your values, beliefs, and all those things as well. So yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the additions, Carolyn.
One more, Olga.
Rita, we have a lot of questions, so I think we're out of time, and we just not able to ask each question. Yeah, if you have more time, I can choose some question, but it's 3:02.
On the handout, there is some contact information for some people, and my contact information is there. So if you have questions, I believe everyone on the panel said that I could forward them to each speaker, and I would be happy to do that. So go ahead and send them to me. And I want to thank, how do you thank people on this panel? Thank you so much. Thank you all for your precious time today. And I hope you'll be back next month, and that you stay well and enjoy the rest of this day. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Rita, we want to thank you.
What,
And we're
Olga?
going to have time getting new students.
Thanks, Carolyn. I'm so glad you got on.
I am too. I want those new students. Oh boy, what a day.
I guess I didn't mention the whole thing about the mentoring and that. Next time.
Yeah, we need more time for all of that. I guess the one thing we didn't mention is how the how we are all as a panel, and then two others that aren't present, how we are additionally using financial social work is to be an advocate and creating this stuff. So, or the support and you know, and just so excited to be able to do this for and on behalf of Rita. So I mean, it's just amazing work. So everything's just great.
Did you have fun?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
These
All
are
right.
great questions.
Can you tell?
I was determined to get on. I don't know what was going on, but I'm like, okay, look, I'm doing this. So no matter what, I was jumping around all over the place, but I said, okay, this thing is going to work. I didn't come this far to turn around.
No,
I love
I'll say that everybody did an exceptional job of explaining not only the roles, but how they got into financial social work and how they were using it. I thought that it was great for everyone to hear so much different diversity of what we're actually doing and working within this industry. And it really kind of shines a light on how much everything is going to continue to evolve. So.
Yeah.
And the fact that there were more questions that time has run out, that
Yeah.
to me is a very good indication of the need to want to hear more and research it a little bit more.
Right.
We'll
Right.
happily answer any questions sent our way. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we need
Carolyn,
part
I
two.
have to say, I was so impressed with the fact that you persisted. I mean, many years ago, I had a professor from California who was doing the webinar. And even though we tried teaching him and all of these things, he just couldn't get on. He couldn't get on. And the day of, he couldn't get on. And I loved your persistence. I have to say that. And I really don't know what to say to all of you. What can I say? Just thank you.
Well, I believe this, where there's a will, there's a way. And no matter
right.
what, you can't give up. And I just couldn't let myself down. I would have been so disappointed if I hadn't been there. I didn't have to say anything. I just wanted to show up. And I always believe if you show up, everything is going to work out. So I'm in it. I'd like to get a handout. I don't know. I couldn't figure it out on my computer how to get the handout.
Carolyn, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
This
well,
is
did any of you see the handout? I hope you like it.
I downloaded it, but I haven't looked at it yet. So Carolyn, I will definitely forward that on to you.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
make sure to download it as well, just to make sure that I have it.
Now, Rita, did you say that we could go and download the workbook? Did you say that?
Yes.
already did.
Everybody,
They're awesome.
do you like them?
They're amazing. Yeah. I'm already looking at which ones I'm going to send, like the do you have a problem with money check sheet? I'm going to be sending out agency-wide for people to use for referrals to the financial social work department. So yeah, this is great.
There's still some things that we're going to do with them, but I
Yeah.
haven't seen them. Wait a minute. I have not seen them. I've seen them, but not finished. I have not seen them. I saw the covers. Do you like the covers? Do you think
I
they're
love the covers.
beautiful?
Yeah.
Yes. With the numbers, I like them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
I
I just
wasn't
say this,
sure.
Rita? Those slides were phenomenal. I was so impressed, and if I wasn't already involved, I'd sign up. It was everything was just so together, and
Yeah.
you did so much work, and it was just so well done that whether we were on the panel or not, the presentation you did was just super. And I'm just really proud to be a part of the journey. Never too late to begin again.
A few people didn't like it.
Why?
They thought it was a paid political.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Well,
Yeah,
economics is real, so they're going to have to accept reality if they want to be financial social workers that exist. You know, you
But
may,
I think
there's,
you can always have critics. You know, it's
Right.
always going to be a few people that criticize. That's okay. But the majority rules.
right. Well, there's a great leader here in Buffalo, and she's just I'm blanking on the name, but she leads one of the women's business groups, and she always says, you may not like me, and you may want to argue with me, but you can't argue with my data, right? The data is the data, and you know, the data shows us that it's real.
Yep.
Yeah, and to be quite honest, you always have to have some haters. Like, you always got to keep them mad. You got to have them there to keep you going. So,
Right.
Well, I mean, I always thought that, I mean, you know, if you are at least aspiring them to even think about anything, rather than not even say anything at all, then you're, you know, really accomplishing anything. You're really accomplishing something, because at least they're thinking about it rather than just seeing the information and don't even have any type of feedback for you. So.
Well, the comments were like that there wasn't enough training, that I wasn't honest, that this wasn't a training. It's people saying how great I am.
Oh, well, that's to come next. I mean, it's
a webinar. Not
that's
sure.
that's to come next. I mean,
I really wanted you to have the time to answer questions, and we ran out of time. Well, thank you all again and again and again. And I guess, LB, you'll send some notes from last night. I was working into the night. I was working until I logged on today. So here's a big sigh of relief. I am glad.
right. Yeah.
All right. Well, I have to run for my next patient, everyone. It was so great to see you all.
You too. I got to get back to
you
financial
too.
social work. So.
Okay.
Bye.
Likewise. I got a couple of voicemails waiting on me too.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
All right. All right. Take care, guys.
Okay.
I don't know
Good
how
job,
to-
LB, Carolyn. You guys rocked it.
Yes,
Well,
y'all.
I'll talk to you soon, Keith. So we'll figure out when we're going to have mentoring,